Hi, welcome to lecture number 33 of Ultimate Python course. In this lecture, we will see list comprehension. List comprehension means taking an existing list and creating a new list is list comprehension. And it can be done without, the same thing can be done without list comprehension also in a traditional way. I'll show you with examples. With examples, you'll be able to understand. Don't write the notes. Slides are given in the description. And don't watch my videos in 1x speed, watch in 2x speed because I will be very slow while explaining. So coming to list comprehension is a Pythonic way. There is no list comprehension in any other programming language. Only Python has it. It will generate the list using this method and it will be clean. Code will be very clean. It will be readable and often it will be more efficient. Okay. So for example, how does a comprehension look like is, you are going to give an expression and you are going to take a iterable. So this can be a list or a set or a string or a tuple. It can be anything. Okay. So for each item in the tuple, you are going to execute the expression and that element will be written as an element in the list. For example, if you want to if you want to square every number, you can use like this. I'll show you with examples. See this. Let us say there is a list of numbers. There are some numbers in the list. Now, I want to square them all. Then how am I going to do that is, this is the expression for squaring. Expression is written first for each x in L. So how are you going to write it is, for every x in L, you do x into 2. For every item in the list, you take the item and you square it. That is the meaning of it. Okay. So when you print the new list, you are going to see the square of it. Are you getting it? For each x in L, which means for each element in the list, take that element and you raise it to the power of 2 and you add it to the new list. That is how you are going to get the new list. The new list is containing 1, 9, 25 like that. Okay. Now let us say there are strings in a list. There are some strings in a list and I want to add exclamation symbol at the end of the each word. Then what I am going to do is, for each word in the list words, I will take that word and I will add the exclamation symbol. this is pronouncing it is a little bit difficult. Exclamation symbol. Okay. So for each word in the words, I will take each word and I will add exclamation to it. Right. Now all those words will be added to a new list called new words. Now if I print new words, you are going to see exclamation symbol everywhere. Right. You can also add conditions to the comprehension. If you want to filter out some of the items, you can use a condition. So there is an expression followed by for each item in the iterable if some condition is matching. Okay, let's see this with an example. Let us say I have all the symbols, all the numbers in a list. Okay. Now for each x in the list, if x mod 2 is 0, which means if it is even, then I am returning that x. For each x in the list, if it is even, I am returning that element. That is why if you look at the even list, that will contain only the even numbers. This is a beautiful way of writing the code, isn't it? For each x in the list, if the x is even number, then I am returning the x. Very beautiful way of writing the code. Okay. Now see this. Now let us say we want to take all the strings whose length is greater than 4. Right? Now what am I going to do is, for each w in words, if the length of w is greater than 4, then I will return that word. And that word will be appended to the longer words list. Okay. So now if you see, print the longer words list, you will see all the animals whose spelling has more than 4 letters. Cat is eliminated, rat is eliminated, right? And you got the other numbers. So how did we do? For each word in W, for each W in words, If the length of W is greater than 4, then return that word. Okay, then return that W, then it is going to be added to the longer words. Now there is nested list comprehension. You can put any number of comprehensions together. Okay, for example, there is an expression, and then for each item in iterable, and then for each item in iterable if condition, right? So you can add any number of for. So now let us say we have a two-dimensional list or a two-dimensional matrix. Okay, now I want to write them as plain numbers without having these brackets. I want to write them as plain numbers in one list without having separate lists. Okay, so what I will do is, for each row in M, so M is the matrix here. Okay, M is the matrix. First we are taking for each row in M, which means for each, this is a row. Row is a name, and which is nothing but for each item in matrix. It can be read as for each item in matrix. Here that item is written as row. So row is actually an item. For each item in the matrix, how many items are there? 3 items are there. So first I will take this item for each row in matrix M. Now for each element in row, which means for each element in that row, return that element. There is no condition, we are returning the element. Try to understand this. For each row in the matrix, which means for every element, how many elements are there? 3 elements are there inside the matrix. So for each row means each element in that. Now after getting into each element, we are writing for each element in the row, which means for each element here, for each element here. Okay, we are returning that element. Therefore 1, 2, 3 will be returned, and next row will become this. 4, 5, 6 will return, and next row will become this. 7, 8, 9 will return. That is how we are going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. Right. Are getting this? Now let's look at this. Use the same example. Okay, I want to compare traditional approach with this approach. In traditional approach, what do you do? You are going to have two for loops, nested for loops, right? So outside for loop will iterate on the each row, and inside for loop will iterate on each element in the row. That is how the traditional programming is. But using list comprehension, you can write it in a simple way. Now the question is this difficult? If it is difficult, don't use it in your programming. It is not a compulsory thing to use comprehension in your programming unless they ask you in the interview. Stick to the traditional method if it is very difficult for you to write the comprehension. Traditional method is straightforward and it will be easy to understand. This is a little bit difficult to understand, but then in the interviews they will ask such questions, right? So don't use it in your practice, but in interviews you have to answer this. Okay. Now let us see this. So there are two lists, shirts and pants. Now we want to pair every shirt with every pant. Okay. So for each S in shirts, for each P in pants. So first what happens is, for each S in shirts will happen, which means first it will take this. Now for each P in pants, it will take this and this. So red jeans, red khaki will be red jeans. You can see this. A tuple is written. A tuple of S comma P is returned, right? So red jeans and red khaki, right? Next, blue will be taken, and then these two will be taken. So blue jeans, blue khaki. Are you getting it? So for each S in shirts, you are doing for each P in pants, right? So this is the outer loop, this is the inner loop. The traditional approach is, For each S in shirts, for each P in pants, combinations.append. Combinations is a list. You are going to append a tuple to that. So you are going to get a list of tuples, right? This is the traditional way of writing it. If you are comfortable using this, you can use it. Now, it is the same thing. I think, yeah, we can, instead of sending the result as a tuple, you can send the result as a list. So if you see the list of lists here, list of lists, right? Now you can also append them. You can also append the strings. Now for each S in shirts, for each P in pants, which means first S in shirts, red will be taken, and then jeans and khaki will be taken, and red and jeans will be appended together. There will be string combining, appending, right? So, and here red and khaki will be appended, red jeans, red khaki, and then blue will be taken, blue jeans will be appended, and then blue khaki will be appended, right? So it is string concatenation. Appending is nothing but string concatenation. Suppose we want to create a multiple table. Okay, see this. There are two comprehensions here. One comprehension is from this yellow line to yellow line, and the other comprehension is from this yellow line to this yellow line. First, outer comprehension will be executed. Outer one will be executed, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first one will be taken, and then inner one will be executed next. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so on 9. So 1 into, so I is 1. So 1 into j is 1, like that. 1 into 2, 1 into 3, 1 into 4. You are going to get the one table, right? Next, 2 will be taken, and then 2 will be multiplied with all these numbers, because I into j is written. Therefore, you are going to get the 2 table. Like that, you are going to get the tables till 6, 5. You are going to get the tables till 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? And in the tables, you are going to get till 9 only, because when you when you give a range is going to not going to go till the last element. Okay. Now, in the traditional approach, if you want to do the same thing, you are going to write like this. For I equal to 1 to 6, for j equal to 1 to 10. Now, you are doing I into j, and then you are appending it to a list. Then you are going to get this. Okay? Then you are going to get this in the traditional way. Now, if you compare the performance of list comprehension and traditional loops, we have done some research on it. So list comprehension is better choice if it is in both performance and readability. List comprehension is very good. Unless it is too messy, list comprehension is very good. Now we have used time it module to do a survey or to do a case study about which one is better in terms of time. So what we have found out is for the same program, execution of the loop has taken 0.07 seconds, and execution of list comprehension has taken 0.06 seconds. Therefore, list comprehension is better in execution time also. But sometimes you may not be able to use it if it is too complex, right? So that is what time complexity. List comprehension is better than the normal. When the list comprehensions are not always better. When are they not better is when it is too complex or hard to read, then don't use list comprehension unnecessarily, right? That will reduce the readability of the code. Okay. So look at this example. This is too complex to understand. So if you write in the traditional way, it is very easy to understand. Okay. So guys, let me ask you a small favor. If you like the video, kindly press the like button. If you really like the course, write a comment. If you loved the course, Please do subscribe and tell your friends about it. Thank you. If you want to take my GATE classes, we go to the website ravindrababuravula.in and you are going to see all my GATE classes available there. Okay. So coming to the classes, they are all recorded. Why am I doing recorded? Why am I not doing live classes? Is I have thousands of students registering for my courses every year. But then if I conduct a live class, only 20 or 30 people will be there. 20 or 30, that's it. Maximum is 40 I had. The reason is live classes are little bit wasting your time. See, you cannot watch a live class at 2x speed. You have to watch at the pace at which I teach. Generally, I will be very, very slow while teaching. So if you can go through the live classes, you can watch them at 2x speed and you can complete the syllabus very fast. 400 plus hours content is there for GATE. And if you are going to watch them at normal pace, it will take 400 hours. But if you watch it at 2x speed, it will take just 200 hours, right? So if you want any of my GATE classes, GATE Computer Science or GATE DA, the price is just 10,000 rupees. It is very, very reasonable for the kind of quality we provide. We have test series, we have doubt sessions, we have videos, we have lecture notes for everything. Even you don't have to write any lecture notes. I will provide you lecture notes for every subject. You just have to sit back, watch the videos at 2x speed and revise the notes. Short notes will be provided, long notes will be provided, formulas will be written in the separate notes. Everything will be there provided to you. You don't have to work hard. And coming to, if you are planning to go abroad, we also have study abroad program. You can go through my number. My number is on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is in the website. If you are planning to do masters abroad, that is a very good choice. It is better than doing masters in India. So if you are planning to go abroad, we will help you out right from taking the passport to getting the visa, US visa, right? So we will help you out in the entire process. Okay. So do visit the website, see what is happening there. Even DSA course is there for 5,000 rupees, which is both in Python and C++. Okay. So thank you so much.